there are good reasons to make devil pacts. Like, despite Will constantly being like, oh, there's never a good reason to, except mine, I had a good reason to, but nobody else ever has a good reason to because I'm different, and, I blah, 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 I was saving your sister, blah, 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 blah. I made a pact with the devil. It worked out very well. I didn't consciously make a pact, but I'm benefiting from it, and technically I could still be paying for it. I don't know. With the fact that it's so ingrained in Eve, who could bloody say how much is actually affecting her?
I wish we could stay and see what this place will be like without the shadows. I bet it's beautiful. No rest for the wicked, huh?
Yeah, I'm worried about what Damon said. Right. I don't really want to broach this, but tell me more about your relationship with Gortash.
He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, Just, it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe and he paid me well. Well enough to move into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zariel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. 1 minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zariel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.
I can never remember the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath, but it sounds like that's what he is. Someone who fakes these emotions like trust and respect, but underneath it all does not care about anything but his own ends.
The shadows are losing their grip on these lands. Shah can indeed be thwarted. Comforting to know.
Sure. Yeah.
You wanted something?
I mean, I want you to find out your fucking tragic backstory from Aelin if she could just keep it in her trousers for another 5 fucking minutes.
I think we've done rather a good thing here. A welcome change to gift this land a sliver of hope amongst so much despair.
Any word about you not needing to blow yourself up? Or was that not the heart of the Absolute? So when the Dream Pal said, that was the heart of the Absolute, she was lying and or wrong, which would be a really weird thing for her to use that phrase. Whatever.
I never saw myself as a banisher of shadows before. I was always more of a lurker-in, historically.
I don't know why, but I really, really like that as a thing for him to say. I think Asterion is really growing on me.
Friend, we are here for you!
Yay! You major all the wrong sort of attention if people see you by my side. You were keen to join me. Don't you want to serve the Absolute? Ooh. You were keen to join me. Don't you want to serve the Absolute?
What Absolute? The Absolute does not care about us. And we do not care about the Absolute. We are different. And we are saved. Friend!
Interesting. It's like I've infected us with free will. That's fascinating. I wonder if that's going to be relevant. Like, imagine if the way we combat the tadpoles and stuff is by connecting our mind and like taking over in response. We tap into that network and take control of it. And then it's like, okay, we have the army. What do we want to do with it? Do we want to rule or kill everyone or free them? And then that could be like the final decision of the game. That'd be interesting. You may draw the wrong sort of attention if people see you by my side.
We will not cause you any trouble, friend. We will project a different form that will cloak us from all but your closest acquaintances.
Brilliant.
You and your friends shall see us as we truly are. All others shall see a kitty, a small predator, indigenous to this world. They kitties can walk anywhere, and they are most cunning.
Oh, you've got a really cute cat. Can I stroke it? She doesn't like strangers. Oh, come on, cats love me. I really wouldn't. Okay, I'm just going to give it a quick... Why is it sticky? Mind wipe.
The curse is broken and the shadows are lifting. In time, these lands will heal.
Remarkably optimistic, Lae'zel.
Quite the cozy setup you have here.
You haven't had anything
just
you'd
make
say for an
myself
entire freaking act. Where's Halsin? Oh, fine. I guess I'll talk to them again.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here.
Yeah, you and me fucking
And
both.
My father. I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me.
You and Aelin seem to have a lot of history. What happened? I feel there's a great deal you haven't told me. Aren't you at all sad about your father's fate? You and Aelin seems to have a lot of history. What happened?
A great deal. But still, some of the details elude me. Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight?
Certainly there's magic in a look. I certainly believe you were starstruck at least. No, but it sounds like you do. I can't remember how I handled Eve and Karlach. I mean, I don't think it was love at first sight. She very much surprised me, and it was the personality that Eve fell in love with. So, I certainly believe you were starstruck at least.
You sound like my father. But it was more than that. This was no mere attraction. It was love. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped.
Did he shout boo? Oh my god. Why can I not tell her what happened to her? Because I'm fairly sure she was ill, wasn't she? I think I found a thing which talked about it. I thought she came down with the same sort of, if not the same illness, then another illness. I don't remember. It's a very long game. He'd become the chosen of Merkel.
I didn't know that then. But I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jahira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years.
What?
That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land. My home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. No matter what.
Jaheira knew, didn't she? Yeah, Jaheira knew who Isabel was. And Isabel was still like, oh, there's no way I can tell them. They wouldn't understand it. And Jaheira's like, yeah, she's Ketheric's daughter. I don't know, she's helping us, so cool. But a couple of things about this. First of all, so she was resurrected 100 years later. I thought she'd been resurrected, like, almost straight after her death. That was the impression I got. I didn't realise it was a new thing. But also, if you're resurrected and you run away, and then take shelter in literally the only building intact in the nearby area, and then you're like, oh, there's no way he'll find me here, especially if I erect a giant glowing shield that can literally be seen from the castle he occupies. There's no way he'll know I'm here. But yeah, if there's one thing Eve will understand here is lying to those around you, because she knows that Ayla, her mother, lied to her party for a long time about things she felt guilty about. Ironically, it's very similar in that it's something that neither Ayla nor Isabel should feel guilty about, because it's beyond their control. In Isabel's case, it was her father, it was Ketheric Thorm. In Ayla's case, she was forced into murder at a very, very young age, and then ran away. But yeah, the fact that they both ran away and tried to live a life in service to a different god, understandable.
It's all out in the open now, and with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing, rest. I'm grateful for your help, your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long, but I'm grateful for a safe place to, well, just to be.
I don't really want to talk to Aelin. Is there anything else Isabel has to say?
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
No, it hasn't. You just explained your story, and no, it hasn't been a long century. It was like sleeping. It's like blinking.
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation.
You're covered in blood.
Come closer.
Is the implication that they've already, taken succor in each other's bodies, and that now she's ready to actually talk to us? Yeah. What is it? Step closer or step back? What is it?
Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, Most High. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Safe and well, and return to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One.
Interesting. So she'll take the credit to Isabel, but doesn't dare do that to her goddess who watched it happen. I couldn't have done it without you. I'd take gold over a prayer. What's the silver light? The moon magic. Oh, where's the silver light? Yeah, she's not earned my gratitude at this point. I mean, she did help, but I don't need to, stroke her ego. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I don't like the way she acts. And I'm not talking about the glory hogging and stuff. She's an incredibly intense person. Like, it seems in basically the only time she wasn't intense was when she was a prisoner. Back then, she was, talking quite calmly and, yes, I understand my life is in your hands.
You, who have come to seek the praise of your wicked goddess. You, who have come to drive a dagger through my heart. To be a dark justiciar is to turn your heart from everything but loss. And there is much she does not tell you.
Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory.
But then the moment she got her power back, it's all, I am this, I have done this, and I'm glorious and powerful, and my mate is here, and I will suck on her body, and all of this, and it's, it's incredibly intense as a person, and even now she's doing that when proclaiming to a goddess in an incredibly over-the-top way. But it makes me think she could have sort of, I don't want to make it sound like she manipulated Isabel, but I don't know. The fact that Isabel has called out the power imbalance has suddenly made me feel incredibly uneasy about them. The fact that this representative, the daughter of the Moon Maiden, like this immortal Azimar who is like, what, effectively the chosen of Selûne, comes down to a Selûne follower and sort of says, yes, you and me, there is immense attraction here. And it effectively could have love bombed her. You know, love bombing is when you sort of overwhelm someone with praise to make them sort of reliant on you for that. It's a manipulation technique. It's very effective. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but there is the possibility that that is what the developers were implying happened, with the fact that you can basically call it out. Weird. Where's the silver light? The moon magic?
Listen to the subtle vibrations of the Moon Maiden thumping within your heart chambers, friend.
Stuff like that.
She works her magic there. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it.
Uh-huh. There's still a great deal about you I don't know. How do you intend to spend your newfound freedom? I am not asking that. There's still a great deal about you that I don't know.
Pray, ask, and I will tell.
Okay. Could you perhaps go and talk to fucking Shadowheart, please? Or I can get her side of it. Alright, I'm going to save here just in case it cuts it off in the same way as it did with Isabel, because I want to hear at least 2 of these. You and Isabel seem to have a lot of history. I want to hear her side of it and see if the stories line up.
A century of it by now.
Well, no, not really.
I loved her from the moment I beheld her sweet face. Her great wise eyes.
Stuff like that.
Her father Ketheric never did trust me. He did not fancy an immortal for his daughter's paramour. When she died, curse the day, the hour, we each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live!
Okay, so it seems she is just an intense person overall, and it could be like an archaic thing because she's immortal and has been around for a long time, and that's, you know, why she uses phrases like low and so on that don't seem to fit even with the medieval fantasy setting of Baldur's Gate. You know, they're archaic even for that. But at the same time, yeah, she just seems to pepper in praise and stuff for Isabel when this situation doesn't seem to warrant it. I don't know, maybe it almost feels like I'm looking for justification of this theory now. I'm not set, it's just a vibe I get. I don't know. But yeah, that sort of did click one thing, that's how Ketheric became immortal, that he was feeding off hers, that she was actually immortal. So that's, yeah, that all sort of ties together in a way that didn't quite click. Are you really Selûne's daughter?
Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory?
Ugh.
There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb.
Yeah, okay, in fairness, she does have that weird, creepy intensity, even about her own mother, apparently. So, would your mother be willing to aid us in the fight against the Dead Three?
Why, she already has. She has brought her
Oh,
sword to
fuck
your
you.
side. Dame Aelin.
Don't do that.
So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder.
Interesting there. That's really good writing, I will say. That the 2 she lists there are Bane and Baal, the 2 we haven't defeated yet. Okay. Alright. I'm guessing Jaheira and Halsin are still back there. Makes me wonder if I go back there, will these be gone? Hi, Thaniel.
You did it. Ketheric Thorm is no more. The Shadow's grip is broken. Soon, the land shall heal.
I'm glad I could help. Seems like the sort of feat that might deserve a reward. My work here is done. I'm glad I could help.
Not as glad as I am. Nature moves at its own pace, and bestows its bounty when it sees fit. Give it time. A reward shall come to you when you need it most.
Oh. Jaheira is here with Arabella. Okay. So where the hell's Halsin? Oh no, I sent her back to camp. I remember now.
If you have business to conclude before we march, have it done. The road to Baldur's Gate is long, and the city needs us.
Still covered in blood. Oh, hey, Shadowheart and the Staring. What are you guys doing here?
I guess I can take care of myself. I mean, I've gotten this far.
How many times have I saved you in that getting this far? I don't mean to undermine your efforts and abilities and so on, but, yeah, that's not a good argument. Get Gortash's Netherstone, get Orin's Netherstone, gather your allies. Embrace potential. Yeah, I've already spoken to her about that. Nightsong decided to camp with us. We might see what the wizard in Baldur's Gate wants with her. Find Moll. Why would she have made it to the city? Oh, God. This just feels like such a tag-along storyline with that. It's like, oh, she escaped Moonrise, the thing that nobody else has managed to do. So the question is, do I now go over here, or do I sleep? Because I've got the thingy over my head, meaning that there is an event if I sleep. But is that going to be like, I don't know. I guess I go sleep and, if needed, move on straight after. But I will do that next time. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with more Baldur's Gate 3 soon as we probably move into Act 3. And I will catch you later.